Hey makeup friends, today we're talking trash. It is a good old-fashioned empties video, so let's get right into it. As always, I want to start off by welcoming you back to my channel, or if you're new here, then hello and welcome. My name is Kara, and on my channel we like to mix beauty, brains, and the occasional F-bomb. Now, I've been hearing a lot about outfit repeating and whether it's acceptable or unacceptable. Let's just go right ahead and address the fact that I am most definitely repeating my outfit and my makeup. The only thing that's different here from other videos is the lipstick. This lipstick is one of the new Dirty Talk matte lipsticks from Il Makiage. They were kind enough to send their entire line over to me, and this shade in particular is called Divinity. Been very impressed with these lipsticks. Very long wearing, very comfortable, not drying at all. Just for reference, I did film the rest of the makeup for a Get Ready With Me using all drugstore items. On my eyes is a new palette from NYX, and I can never remember the name of it. I think it's El Profesor. It's this palette here. It's based on the Netflix show Money Heist, which I've never even seen an ad for, so I couldn't begin to tell you what the story's about. But having said that, I have collected quite a few empties here, so we're gonna go through them. I've got some skincare items, some hair care, there are some makeup items. Any items that I've finished up in the course of my year-long Project Pan that I've been doing with K Bella Beauty, they are not going to be included in here because I have talked about them in the process of doing the Project Pan. But with all of that out of the way, let's just dive into it because there's quite a bit here. So let's start with skincare, simply because it's sitting closest to me. So this isn't necessarily skincare, but it is a deodorant. It's not finished, but I am finished with it. So it's a deluxe sample here. This is from Malin and Goats. I don't know how to pronounce that, but at any rate, this is their whatever this deodorant is. It just says bergamot deodorant. So I don't know what the name of the actual, if it's natural deodorant or what the actual name of it is, but this is the bergamot scent. And I mean, the scent of it is very nice. It's very citrusy and fresh, but my skin does not like this deodorant whatsoever. And I normally don't have very reactive skin, but for whatever reason, my armpits do not like this. They become very itchy, very hot. It's clearly some sort of allergic reaction. I don't know what is in this that I'm allergic to, but I have tried 2 different scents from them in this deodorant, and both times I just sit there and end up scratching my armpits. It's not worth it. So for me, it's a big old nope on that one, and I am just getting rid of it. Now, this one here. This is the Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm from Pharmacy. This is the original scent. I'm this close to finishing the cherry scent that I have going on right now. Or it's cherry, but it smells like almond. I'm so close to finishing it, but the opportunity for filming arose today, so it's just going to make its way into the next empties. But suffice it to say, I love this stuff. This is probably the 2nd or 3rd one that I finished. Like I said, the replacement that I bought for this one is almost done, and I have 2 other backups because I just really enjoy using this. It just breaks up your makeup very easily. You don't have to scrub at your face, and yet it also washes away really easily. It doesn't leave a film on your skin. I usually do go in and wash my face again after with a cleanser, but I don't feel that I have to. Skincare junkies would probably disagree with me on that point, but as a very lazy face washer, I will freely admit that sometimes it's just a matter of putting this on to break all the makeup up, taking a makeup eraser, washing that all off, and then going in with a moisturizer before bed. Sometimes that's just the way I roll. But all that to say, I highly recommend this one for taking off your makeup at the end of the day. If you can get your hands on the cherry scented one, that is my favorite scent. It smells like almond paste and I love it, but this one itself has a very light and sort of citrusy kind of fragrance to it. I also have the apple one, which is quite nice, and they do have a trio right now for holiday with other scents in there. I don't have that one, So I can't speak to those smells, but there's probably something for everybody. Okay, moving on to the next then. So this one got Bennetted. If you don't know who Bennett is, he's my 4-year-old son. I love him to death, but he is a force of destruction. This is from Herbivore. This is the Emerald Cannabis Sativa Deep Moisture Glow Oil, which I actually really like, as does my 4-year-old. Apparently, this makes a great addition to potions. Potions that were created on my bedroom floor. It's a $70 face oil. Gah! He's lucky he's cute. It was probably to about here when he got his little paws on it, and then proceeded to dump it all over my floor and mix in toothpaste and other stuff with it, and we had a very long discussion about personal belongings and boundaries, and then all of my skincare just got moved up a couple more shelves. So I haven't replaced it because $70 face oil, but if I'm in the market for another oil, I would replace this, but I would hide it from my son. The next item that I have to talk about is the hyaluronic acid from the Inky list. Significantly lower price point than the face oil. I didn't really love it. I found that it was very tacky on the skin, and that tackiness persisted, and I also just didn't find that it really did anything for my skin. For a frame of reference, I do have normal skin, so I don't really deal with a lot of extreme dryness, so a hydrating product like this I don't always see the benefit of, so take what I say with a bit of a grain of salt, but overall it was the tackiness for me that I just didn't really like. So it's not one that I'm going to repurchase, although I did use it all. It's just okay in my opinion. It didn't really do anything for me. I've got another sample here, and this isn't the first sample that I've gone through. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Sleeping Mask, and I've heard mixed reviews on this. For what it's worth, from my perspective, using this overnight left my skin feeling very hydrated in the morning, and I could still like really feel the effects of it, but I have heard from other people that they didn't find that it was hydrating enough. So if you have very dry skin, this might not be up to the task for you, but if you are on that more normal side of things like my skin, this is probably going to be sufficient for you. So I don't have a need at this point for another nighttime face cream because I do have one that I'm working on. I would consider purchasing this one for myself because it is enough for me. And then we've got a peel off mask here. This one is from Boscia. It's the Luminizing Black Mask. I have gone through a few of these containers, but I don't feel inclined to repurchase it anymore. I just find that peeling it off is actually quite painful, and while I just kind of accepted it the first few times that I purchased this product, I have since tried other peel off masks that aren't as aggressive and not as painful, so I am more inclined to go with them. I'm currently using one from the brand I Do Care, which I purchased through Beautylish, and I'm really enjoying it. It is very heavily fragranced, so if you don't enjoy fragrance in your skincare products, steer clear, but I don't mind it, and I do find that it leaves my skin feeling very hydrated, but it doesn't have that like irritating factor of trying to peel it off. This one becomes very difficult, and half the time I just end up having to just wash it off my face to begin with, which kind of just, you know, negates the whole peel off aspect of it. So while I used to love this one, I don't anymore. So then I've got two here that kind of ride the line between skincare and makeup. Both of them are makeup removers. So this one is a sample here from Clarins. This is the Instant Eye Makeup Remover, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I found that it was very effective, particularly at removing like lash glue and liquid liner, especially when I've done wings. It's very good at that. But the price point for the full size is in like the north of $30 range. And so I picked this one up instead. This is the oil-free eye makeup remover from Neutrogena. I got mine for, I think it was in around $10 from Shoppers Drug Mart, and I have since repurchased this one. It's every bit as effective as this one, but at a significantly lower price point. Wow, English. This one, it wouldn't be finished if it wasn't for Bennett. I bought it, and the very next day he had spilled out like almost half of it. This kid, I swear, I love him. He's adorable, but he's too curious for his own good. He really likes to create potions, and he will use whatever he can get his hands on to do so. One of them included pickle juice. Brine! I don't know what kind of wheel the little hamster is on that runs around in that brain of his, but my goodness, he is a handful. At any rate, I'm glad that it was a $10 item and not a $30 makeup remover. So at any rate, I do like that one. So then let's talk about another product that kind of rides the line of makeup. It's kind of in a category all on its own, and it's this guy here. This is the Pure Castile soap from Dr. Bronners. This one is the almond scent. It's divine. Oh my gosh, it smells like almond paste. Like that, like marzipan stuff. Oh, it smells so good. I use this for cleaning my brushes, and I find that it helps to moisturize the bristles so they don't get dried out and brittle, but yet it is very effective at cutting through the makeup, especially in foundation and concealer brushes. So I have repurchased this one a couple of times. I think this is my second full-size bottle of it. I now have an even bigger bottle that I found at Winners or Marshall's, one of those stores. That one, the only scent they had was rose. I'm not as big a fan of that one at all, but the almond, if you can find it, oh my goodness, that is fantastic. I've also had their citrus or lemon, or I don't know what it was called. It was okay, but almond's the way to go. All right, so now let's talk makeup, and I've only got 4 makeup products here to talk about, so we should breeze through this fairly quickly. First up is from Tasha. This is the Silk Canvas. This is their mini-sized version of it. I've used it up completely. I would not repurchase it. I prefer the more liquid version of it, although even at that, it's not my favorite. This one, I just found there was quite the learning curve trying to figure out how to use it. If you scoop it out and then just try to like blend it into your skin, it's just gonna pill and roll around. You really have to kind of press it into the skin, and I just found that that was a little bit of overkill for what my skin needs. I don't really need like pore filling or anything of that sort, so I prefer something that is a bit more on the moisturizing side of things. So this one, while not necessarily bad, it's not one that I'm interested in repurchasing personally. One that I have repurchased and will continue to repurchase though, the Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara. I don't know what more to say about this that I haven't already said a few times over, but suffice it to say, I love this mascara. It is the holy grail of mascaras for me. I don't feel the need to go out and try any other formulas at this point. That's not to say I never will, but at this point, I am perfectly happy with this one. So I do have another deluxe size sample. I don't know where my full-sized one is. I finished the full size. It should be in with all these empties. I probably threw it out on myself, but I bought one of those like little, the mini samplers that they put out at holidays, and the Bite Beauty Upswing is in there. So I think you pay like $30 for the 5 of them, and then you get a coupon for a full-sized one of whichever one you want. So I will be going and buying the full size of the Bite Beauty Upswing. I do have a few other assorted mascaras that I'm working on as well, but this one is the touchstone for me. All other mascaras are compared to this one in my mind. So love that one. And then I have a Pretty Easy liner here from Clinique. That's what it's called, Pretty Easy liner. This one is in black. I do have one in brown, and the brown one I have repurchased a few times. I really like these liners. I really like that it's very fine tipped point. It is an actual like brush, so it doesn't like dip into a pot of eyeliner, and it's not like a felt tip. So I really like the application of it. I like that it doesn't pill, it doesn't split apart. It's a very nice liner. I prefer my Tom Ford eye defining pen for creating wings and all that using black liner, but this is the one I keep repurchasing for brown. I don't think the Tom Ford one comes in brown, and if it does, please don't tell me, because this one is about half the price of that one. And I like it enough that when I use brown eyeliner, this is the one I'm going to reach for. But I suspect that Tom Ford one I will repurchase when it eventually dries out, because I really, really do like that, and I like the double-ended aspect of it. But this is what we're here to focus on. This one is a very good liner if you're in the market for one. And then finally, I have a setting spray. This one is from Gerard Cosmetics. And this one was in the scent Lavender. Not my favorite of their scents. They have a coconut one that I absolutely adore, as well as the peach scented one. But overall, all of the face setting sprays work the same regardless of scent, so it's really up to your own preferences. If you are interested in anything from Gerard Cosmetics, I do have an affiliate link and a code which is listed in the description box down below. So if you want to shop through that, I do appreciate it, but you're absolutely, obviously not required to do so. Okay, that rounds out the makeup. Really not much to talk about. And now I just have a few hair care items. So one is one that tends to show up in every one of these empty videos. This is from Tresemme, and it's the Curl Defining Spray Gel. It's just what it is. It's a gel that's in a spray formula, and I just go through this over and over and over again. I always have a backup. It's one of those ones that, like, when this gets down to about here, I start using one of the other ones until there's room in the bottle, and then I just like drain this one into the other one and away I go. I just find that it holds the curl in my hair. I mean, you can't see it today. I'm having a very bad hair day today for whatever reason. I'm not sure what's going on, but that's why we're going with the high pony and just slicking it back as much as we can. But when my hair is down, this does help to define the curl in it and hold things in place without being crunchy or looking like it's permanently wet. It's just a really easy product to use. It doesn't come with an extensive price point. I think it's usually around $10 or $11 at Shoppers Drug Mart, but it goes on sale for like $5 all the time, and that's when I'll pick up my additional backups. I think I have like 2 or 3 upstairs in the cupboard right now, but I've been using it for years and I foresee continuing to use this. So speaking of gels then, I did go through this one here from IGGK. This is the Coconut Oil Air Dry Styler. And I found, I don't know if it's actually marketed as a gel, is it? Yes, it's a coconut oil infused gel. Not bad. I'm not interested in repurchasing it. Whereas this one doesn't leave your hair looking wet, this one can. So there is like a very small window, if you will, where if I go overboard and use just a little bit too much product, it is way too much for my hair, and then it just looks wet and it's not the look that I'm going for. So while I don't necessarily think it's a bad product, because when I do hit that sweet spot of just the right amount of product to actually address my whole head of hair but not go overboard, it is quite nice, but this one's just so much easier to use. So I'm not going to be repurchasing this one. Another hair care product that I have finished up is from Diva Curl, and this is the Mr. Right Dream Curl Refresher Spray. It was okay. I mean, it was fine enough that I got through it all, but Bumble & Bumble has one out that I prefer far more. First of all, I love the scent of the Bumble & Bumble one, and I just find that it helps to like rehydrate my curls and just give fresh life to them. This one was almost a little bit tacky on the hair, not to the same degree as like a hairspray, but it certainly left a texture on my hair that I didn't really love. So I used it all, wouldn't repurchase this one. And then finally, I have a shampoo and conditioner duo that I'm also not going to repurchase, and it's from Sol de Janeiro. So we've got the Brazilian Joya, I believe is how you pronounce it, Strengthening and Smoothing Conditioner, and the Strengthening and Smoothing Shampoo. They come with a fairly hefty price point for what they are, and I didn't really notice any benefit to my hair. I didn't really notice that it was that much more manageable or the curl was that much more defined or anything like that. And then, more off-putting than that, is that it got really like janky. Like, okay, full disclosure, I don't wash my hair every day. I don't. Maybe twice a week is typically where I'm at. Maybe sometimes, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm going and I'm running and it's summertime, I'm going to be showering far more often. Middle of winter, I'm gonna go 3 days without washing my hair. I wash my body, but the hair doesn't need to be washed every day. So shampoo and conditioner does last a fairly significant amount of time in my hands. But this was like within like 5 months, I would say. It's like it went bad. Like it curdled almost for both products, the conditioner and the shampoo. So the shampoo became chunky, which was very off-putting because I was like, is this just an ingredient that's in there, or is this like it's growing something? You know, like it didn't smell bad, But the Sol de Janeiro stuff is known to be very heavily fragranced. It's kind of their wheelhouse, so I didn't know if that was masking what was going on. Like, and it just kind of felt like Russian roulette as I was washing my hair. So from that perspective, I mean, if it had been like a year and a half, sure, I can more easily see that, but like 5 months-ish, I feel like it should last longer than that without going really weird. Like, it turned color as well. Like, it left me with questions. So I powered through it. I would say the last like 10 uses for each one, I went overboard with the amount of product I used because I was just trying to finish it up, because they're like 30 bucks a bottle, somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact price. I wanted to use it all, but like, I probably shouldn't have. All that to say, not repurchasing those. But there it is. We got through all of my empties. So no guarantees as to how long it's going to take me to amass enough to talk about them again in future, but suffice it to say that I will continue to keep holding on to my garbage. Barry keeps trying to throw it out on me, and I'm like, no, no, no. I know it's empty, and I know it looks like garbage, but it's not, because people want to hear about my garbage. Such a weird thing. I love watching Empties videos. I feel like people can give really good ideas of thoughts on how the product performed for them, because they've obviously used it for an extended period of time, but it is, at its core, a very weird concept that we're just like looking at each other's trash. But I'm happy to share it. So there it is. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. But with all that said, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.